information in chat there. And now I'll head into setting up our software environments. So we're going to work in OpenScienceLab. And so when you head to OpenScienceLab, you can log in. If you don't have an account, you can set one up. I'm going to paste the link to OpenScienceLab in the chat. It's also in the in the slideshow. And so, of course, if you have an account, you can just log in. If you don't have an account, you can set one up by clicking the, I don't know, I probably skipped by that too quickly. There's a sign up button at the bottom of the sign in screen, and then you can sign up. Historically, we've provided automated access. When you sign up for an account, you get immediate access to OpenScienceLab. However, we're in the process of improving our security footprint. So for the moment, we are manually vetting all of the signups. So there may be a slight delay in signup, for probably the next month or so. When you sign up, you'll get a response from an OpenScienceLab admin asking a couple of follow-up questions, and then you'll gain access. So hopefully everybody has the access that's needed. But if you don't have access yet, please sign up, and we'll get you added to. We'll get your account activated as quickly as possible. We are going to be working in a very specific server profile for this workshop, and you'll see this little notification here that mentions the name of the server profile, M6A large, JupyterLab 4 single user. Don't worry, we have this posted other places, including in the slideshow, with a little picture here showing exactly the server profile that you should use. You won't be able to run some of the code if you select some of these older server profiles. This is an updated server profile that's running JupyterLab 4, whereas these other profiles are running JupyterLab 3. Okay, so let me just sign in here. We are running a little bit behind schedule. Second. Oh, here we are. It's just being slow. Okay, so we are running a little bit behind schedule, and it does take a couple minutes to start these servers. So I think I'm going to break this demo in half. And so if we can all just sign into our OpenScienceLab accounts and then go into the OpenScienceLab. If you are attending a class that's hosted in OpenScienceLab, you may see additional labs available. But for this workshop, please open the OpenScienceLab deployment here, and then click the Start My Server button. This is going a little bit slow. Perhaps it's because many of us are trying to do this at the same time. Great. Let me try going back to the portal home. Okay, well, it looks like we are experiencing a little bit of a slowdown here. So perhaps we need to go and adjust our autoscalers a little bit, which I can do while we're on. Oh, here it comes while we're on break. I will still do that while we're on break just to make sure that we all can start up the machines that we need. Oh. Okay, well, if you're able to get through to the server, Start My Server screen, then please go ahead and select the M6A large JupyterLab 4 single user profile and click the Start button, and that will initiate starting up your server. However, it looks like we may have some congestion issues. So So let's take a 15-minute break, and I'll look into those issues while we're on break. All right, so I'll see you all back here at, I guess, 10:17 Alaska time. All right, thanks.
Hey, Alex, just real quick, there's a comment in the meeting chat that may be relevant.
Yes, new users do need to be authorized, and that's because we're currently improving our security footprint. Previously, we had let everybody in automatically, but right now you will need to be approved. So we will actively be approving people. However, it may take a little bit of time. So if this interrupts your running of the demo, I apologize. All of this information will be available in as videos after the workshop is complete, so people will be able to go back and follow along asynchronously as well. All right, I'll see you all in about 15 minutes. All right, welcome back, everybody. So I think we've gotten past our little self-imposed denial of service attack, and hopefully everybody has been able to hop in and start their Jupyter Lab 4 server here. And so if that is the case, then you should find yourself on a screen that looks like this, and you'll see that the server profile name is up at the top of the screen here. We can make this a little larger. Okay, and so this is OpenScienceLab, OpenScienceLab, and in the Jupyter Lab server profile, and you'll notice some differences from the Jupyter Lab 3 server profiles. We've added a few new bells and whistles. So there is a storage usage notification that pops up because it is a common occurrence to have people overrun their volumes and then get locked out of OpenScienceLab without unless they start a debugging server profile. And so this just helps you keep track of your current storage. There's also a GIF capture link. So if you are wanting to share a little video of some work that you've been doing, or if you run into a trouble with the interface and would like to send us a video for troubleshooting, you can click the GIF capture tool and then start recording and hop back into your screen here and record that way. There's also the Jupyter Lab Git extension here. And then there's this Jupyter Book extension, which I will talk to you about in just a minute here. So all of the content for this workshop is hosted in a Jupyter Book, which is a Jupyter Book is a collection of Jupyter notebooks and markdown files, all arranged in a nice, easy to follow structure that provides you with a table of contents. I attended the ISAT2 Hack Week at the University of Washington through UW's eScience, and last September, and all of the material was delivered in a Jupyter Book, and it was a really nice experience to have that organizational structure. However, displaying a Jupyter Book inside of Jupyter Lab is not always the smoothest experience. When you go and you actually look inside of a Jupyter Book here, you'll see there are a bunch of config files, and there are notebooks kind of buried deep within. And even if you've rendered your Jupyter Book into a website, those don't display very well in Jupyter Lab. And so to that end, we've been working on writing this Jupyter Book extension, which if you navigate to a Jupyter Book, so when you start out here, you'll see this workshop Jupyter Books directory, hop in there, and then you'll see that it contains a single Jupyter Book for this workshop. And so open that up, And then once you're anywhere inside this directory or any of its subdirectories, you can click the little JB button here, and you'll see a nice table of contents showing you all of the available notebooks, and as well as many other resources to different resources for NISAR, Opera, Hype on Demand, and Vertex, and then just some more general resources as well. And so to kick things off, also you'll notice that there is a link to the slideshow here at the top of the Jupyter book, so you can find your way back to the slideshow. But in order to run the demos alongside during the workshop, you will need to build the correct Conda environment. And so there's a Conda environment creation notebook here under software environment. So you can click that to open your notebook, and then just run these 3 code cells. And so you can, if you're not familiar with Jupyter Notebooks, there are a couple of ways you can run code cells. You can either click the little play button up at the top here, or you can also just hit Shift-Enter on your keyboard, and that will also run those code cells. And so this will take just a few minutes to build. I'll show you some of these other available resources while we wait for that to build. Here we've got the ASF website, and which includes links to additional training information. So there's information about the RSET course, about edX classes that are offered. This is a webinar that we delivered last year, and all of our old recordings to older workshops and things are all here on this training page. There's a link to OpenScienceLab itself. AwesomeSAR is a great repo full of references to a number of different SAR-related software packages and resources. Tomorrow, when we cover HDF, there is a software package called HDF View, which allows you to easily, it provides a nice GUI for looking at a graphical user interface for looking at the contents of HDF5 files. There is a link to the MintPy repo. There's a link to the EarthScope INSAR processing course. This is an annual course previously hosted by UNAVCO, now EarthScope. And so when you come here, you'll see that it's 2023, but this is annual. So at some point in the not too distant future, I expect that there'll be a 2024 page for this. And then we have links to several different classes taught by Dr. Franz Meyer, ASF's chief scientist. And so there's the in-person microwave remote sensing class. And so this is taught every other spring. And you can attend this in person or remotely. So you can sign up as a non-degree seeking student at UAF and take this class remotely. And then there are also links to 3 different edX classes, which are asynchronous, and you can sign up for and take on your own time at any point. And then in the specific chapters by data set, you'll find other resource directories. So you can just click these little buttons here to expand and collapse these lists of links. And so there's the NISAR website, the ASF's NISAR page. Eric Fielding showed a slide that had the Science User's Handbook. If you click this, it will just download that right to your computer. Here's a link to the LICE Framework GitHub org. So this contains all of the repos for all of the NISAR processing code. And then there's the NISAR sample data site and information about the ARIA GunWs that Eric will present on tomorrow. And then we've got some similar things for Opera, the Opera website, the Opera ADT GitHub org, and the applications repo, which contains some additional data recipes to those that we'll be presenting. And then finally, down here in ASF Hype on Demand Processing, we have links to both Hype and Vertex resources. So there's the Hype docs and the Vertex website. There's a user manual for Vertex. There are Python packages for both ASF search and Hype. And this link has some notebook examples using ASF search, and then there is a notebook for programmatic access of Hype, and then a couple story maps demonstrating RTC and NISAR ordering through Hype. And then we actually have our notebook examples down here in these sections. And so this will take just a few minutes to build. But once it's done, then you should have everything that you need to start in on to start using notebooks. And you will see that if I just open up a random notebook here, you'll see that it's complaining that I don't have the kernel, and that's because that content environment is not yet built. So for the moment, I'll just select base. However, if I ran this in base, chances are it wouldn't have all the packages that are needed. So you do have to wait for this to finish building before you can start running those notebooks. And once we get through this last little step here, I'll show you how to if in case you've accidentally changed the kernel. If you started a notebook before building this environment, I'll show you how to get the correct kernel back in just a moment here. And so, as I mentioned, this is this Jupyter book extension is something that we're working on here at ASF to improve the experience of delivering workshops such as this. So this is in its very early stages of development. And so we would appreciate any feedback, especially negative. If you find anything that breaks during the course of the workshop, please do let us know, because we're actively working to improve this tool. All right, and so now it has built the content environment. When this runs on your server, it's possible you'll see some additional output, because there is a script that runs that also installs ARIA tools. And in my case, it's already been installed, so it's not showing that output. But if you haven't done that yet, you may see some additional output, and that's expected. And so then once you actually have this built, and you can see here, I've got this, I had switched to the base environment because the correct environment wasn't available. But now I can go back and select the NISAR EA Workshop 2024-1 kernel and select that. And now you'll see that it's running in that kernel up here. And however, if you wait to open notebooks until after you've built your environment, then life will be just a little bit easier. If you open any of the other notebooks when you have the environment, it's automatically selected. So you shouldn't have to do anything with selecting the environment unless you've changed it inadvertently.